If y'all are wondering, it's taking a little longer. I'm lagging, so therefore I'm waiting for it to start. I have a commercial. See, I even get commercials. There we go. I'm here. Everybody let me know you can see me and hear me. Let's see who all's in the house. Hi, Carol. Hi, Anna. Anna, I hope your cold goes away. Hi, Desiree. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Harola. Let's see. Hi, Pam. Mary Jane, hello. I noticed some of the students said hello. We'll have everybody say hello after everybody gets in the class again. Hi, Mickey. I can relate. I have a sinus problem. I will tell you what happened. My air conditioner leaked on my bed. It's the one above my bed, and it left a puddle. Hi, Mary King. And my bed got wet. That was 3 nights ago. So it's doing that on a daily, occurrence here. And I have a waterproof, well, I thought I had, let's put it that way. I thought I had a waterproof mattress cover. That's what I bought. No, I didn't. So my mattress got drenched, and we are talking, it was drenched. I could have took a bath in the bed. It was that wet. I mean, a big spot like this. So now the mattress has mold built up on it. And we've been waiting for the new mattress to come. It finally came today. And we can't put it on the bed until we find out where this leak is at. So, yeah, I got a water bed. It's just the water's supposed to be on the inside, not the outside. I just think. So we got another bed, and it's in a box, and it really wants out of the box. Just saying, it's making all kinds of racket in there. So the box is in my closet, away from the water, and it's in a plastic bag. I don't want it wet before I put it on the bed. I want to wait at least till it gets on the bed. The only thing I can figure is somebody got, because it was a Sealy Posturepedic, mattress cover. And I think somebody bought it because I got it from Walmart, and they returned it to get the money back on the Sealy, and they exchanged it for one of the cheaper ones and put the cheap one in the box that wasn't a waterproof mattress cover. So yeah, that happens. It's not Walmart's fault, it's the thief's fault. So that's just that. And we just live with it, deal with it, move on, build a bridge, get over it. And I wouldn't have known that it was not waterproof had the air conditioner didn't leak. So I don't know if the air conditioner ever leaked other times to get the bed wet. I never noticed the bed being wet. Nobody said anything, and Dennis is in there all the time, and he never said anything. Mia's on the bed. She don't like water. She runs from it. So yeah, she wouldn't lay there. She wouldn't have nothing to do with the bed if it was wet. So I don't know if that was the first time or what, but it drenched a 12-inch mattress. And we left it, open yesterday and the day before, trying to air it out. And yeah, we even had the dehumidifier in there, and it's still a little wet. So yeah, I figure mold's building up in it. So all I can do is sleep up towards the head of the bed. But he's got to get on the roof. And yesterday it got up to 102. Hi, Jeremy. It was 112 heat index here. He can't get on the roof when it's that hot. His shoes will melt on the roof. Jeremy, I noticed you had questions about Karina's website. Karina has shut her website down. If there's a particular pattern you need, I've got it. I just got to make PDFs of all her patterns and put them up on the site. She gave me permission for that. Hi, Janella. Hi, Robin. Now, today, I got the pattern for today. That's another one from Wanda's site. That was another question you had, Jeremy. That's internet issue when it's blurry like that. Uh, yeah, she shut it down after I got everything downloaded off of her site. That's when she shut it down. Hi, RD. I hate to see her go. I really do, but I fully understand why. So we only got a few more classes and then school's out for a couple of months. I will give you all a bit of good news. I'm getting into one specialist on August 4th, and the most important specialist on the August 4th appointment. That's the hypertension doctor. I talked to the nurse and told her all the situation, and she said she's pretty sure that they can change the medication in the same family and get me going again. So that works. But I still got to lose weight. Anybody want some weight? I'll give you some. I'm donating it out. Anybody want any? Any takers? Hi, Carol. You and me both. Now, if they get me into the orthopedic next, I'll be very happy. The orthopedic did call and they wanted to schedule the same day as the hypertension doctor. Well, I can't do two appointments in one day because by the time they get through with me, I'm going to definitely be a water fountain and glow in the dark. So, with that said, um, I can't do them both on the same day. So I asked for another date, and they're trying to squish it so they can get me in my time frame because I told them I was taking off till October, and they said, "Okay, what's your days you work?" And I told them what days I work, and I said, "Now when winter kicks on, I said we have special classes and stuff like that we do, so I want to be available for things." And they said they would work with me, so they don't know what all they can do for me. They ordered up all my medicine and stuff from my old orthopedic and what his findings were. Nobody wants any. I ain't got no takers. Dang. Y'all just ain't, you ain't playing nice. I even asked Mia if she wanted some. As little as she is, it wouldn't hurt her. She says, "Ma, I already got some wiggle in my walk." Dennis got her some new peanut butter cookies last night for dogs. And oh my God, she was like, "Num, num, 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 them's good." And she wanted more. And you can't give them more than one a day. Boy, she's just like, she knows where it's at. Oh, that's okay, Anna. I'll find some skinny person. I used to could call my sister in it, but she, God rest her soul, she's not with us anymore. She was skinny as a rail, soaking wet. I'm not kidding you. She weighed 96 pounds. She was taller than me. She looked anorexic, but she wasn't. She sat down, she could eat a 12-ounce steak in a heartbeat, along with a potato salad and the whole 9 yards. She has a hollow leg. That's what I told her. She had a hollow leg because it went right through her. I caught everybody's weight in the family. My mom was skinny. I took after my grandma. And yep. But yeah, I take after my grandma. She was a big woman. Oh, yeah. They all do. Asia, our other dog, she used to sit up at the kitchen table. I got pictures of her sitting at the kitchen table. She would get up at the kitchen table and put her plate up on the table. She thought she was allowed to eat at the table. No, she wasn't. But that's what she'd do. And that's what she'd do when she was hungry. She'd put her plate up on the table to let me know, hey, it's feed me time. She was a smart cookie. Harold can tell you she was really smart. Yeah, Desiree, I'm right there with you. It's like, yeah, come on, I'm here. Just jump on me. You would be surprised what I live off of in a day. Anybody that's been around me knows I don't eat a lot. I'm not active. That's my problem. Everything I eat goes straight to fat. And it's because I'm not as active as I used to be. A lot of it is because of the back problems that I have. And it's slowing me down. And lately, my back has really been doing a number on me. The way you see me here is the way I look when I stand up because I'm bent almost completely over now. And when I went to the doctor, she tried to get me back on the table, and I couldn't do it because of the way my spine is. I was injured bad in a car wreck, and I can't lay flat. I'm forever a side sleeper, like it or not. I can't lay on my stomach, and I can't lay on my back. Yep, I know. It's ridiculous. Why can men lose weight? They just breathe and they lose weight. Women have to work twice as hard to lose it. That's just not fair. I have to say, it's just not fair. We should be the ones to be able to lose weight. Release, not the men. We work harder. I mean, they even made what was it, a little uh, limerick about us. A man works from sun up to sundown. A woman's work is never done. Something like that. I don't know how it goes all the way. But yeah, they made a limerick about it. So, y'all got any questions from last week's class? You have a hard time losing weight. You're very one of a kind, Jeremy. But I've always said that about you. You're one of a kind, and that makes you the perfect kind. Mary, Mary, we're relative. We gotta be relative. I have pains. I used to be on hydrocodone, and I took it 4 times a day. When the doctor upped it 2 more pills, I said, "Whoa, I already wake up to take a pill. I'm not waking up to take another pill. I want to stay awake. I want to have a life. I want to know what I'm doing." Because I walked around feeling and looking like a zombie. I didn't like that. So I quit taking it. And I'm glad I did because I do feel the pain. So it stops me. Before, I didn't feel the pain until the medicine was wearing off. And I actually hurt my back more by being on the medicine than I am being off the medicine. Are you a candidate for surgery? I'm not. They will not do surgery on me. I have spurs on my spine, and I've got nerve endings tied up in it. And they will not do surgery on me unless I my back goes completely out and I'm not mobile anymore. That's when they will, because they said it could make me a paraplegic or a quadriplegic because they don't know what nerve endings are caught up in the spurs. My back is a mess. I'll just say that. When I first started going to cat days, I was a walking back brace. I was a brace from here down, full body. I had braces on my arms, my hands. I mean, I was messed up. I won't lie to you. I was messed up. Put my collarbone up here. I could use it to rest my head on. And I didn't even know it. So there's that. It didn't feel good when they put my collarbone back in place. I just saying. I don't wish that on anybody. I was hit in the rear end by a dump truck and I was in a Mustang. I was at a red light. He didn't stop. Yeah, they are. Well, I thank God every day I'm here because from the pictures and stuff, if you saw the pictures, you'd never understand, how close I was to dying. Yeah, I know. I've bought all kinds of back stuff, massagers. I got a massager that massages from here down, and it doesn't help. I got a TENS unit. You name it. I've bought everything. I got like umpteen gazillion braces to put on my back. It doesn't help. Hi, Kathleen. We was waiting on you. See? We knew you was coming. Oh, the cats are outside and they're fighting. You don't hear the cats, do you, Mia? Well, I'm glad to be here. My kids was little and I was a single mom when it happened. And all I could think about while I was in the hospital is who's taking care of my kids. Their dad had to come and get them. Awesome. I can't wait to see pictures. Yeah, that's what I say. I must have done something good in my life. I don't know what. Can't tell you. I just do the right thing. So, all right, folks, we got 5 minutes till class starts. Y'all got any questions from last week? Got any questions for today? Mary Atlier should be here. Mary, if you're here, give me a shout. Let me know you're here. Hi, Phyllis. Awesome, Phyllis. We're glad to have you. You going to Tat Days? You'd love to hear about Tat Days coming up in September. Are you registered, Janella? You need to. I'll be there. Georgia's going to be there. Phyllis is going to be there. I know Phyllis is coming. Ain't you, Phyllis? A lot of the students will be there. Tanya's coming, I think. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll be there. I'll be there with bells on. How's that? I'll wear bells so everybody knows where I'm at. I'll bring Mia. That's all I need. She's my bell. We won't be bringing the rig. There's nowhere to park it. So, you need to come. Hi, Debbie. You really need to come. You'll have a blast. I encourage all of you. Be there or be square. Anna, do you want me to run around with the camera again this year and just take pictures, everything? Run a video? I can do that. Hi, Kendra. You definitely want to see the pick if I wear bells. So y'all want me to run a video? Well, let me talk to tech support in here and see if we can do that. Dennis, they want us to run a video this year at Tat Days, so they can see everything. We'll do that. We'll do a live.
Yeah, like we did one
last year. All right, I'll tell you what. We shall do a live. Now, I don't know if Georgia's going to want another interview this year. We'll ask her. If she does, we'll do an interview with her. We'll just let her just talk, talk, talk. She is a wealth of knowledge and she is so funny. I just love listening to her. Makes my day when I get to listen to her. I will. I will. So, yeah, maybe it'll entice y'all to come. It's, just come. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's 2:58. How about we get a start on this show today? Everybody say okay. Thumbs up. Let's go. Everybody click that like and that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. I know we've got more students in here than normal, but some of you are not registered with the classes. You're just here visiting through YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button and that little notification bell and set it up for all. We do not spam you. We will not put videos up unless you're involved. Okay. I do private classes on the side. You might get a ding for a private class. I'm sorry if that happens. That's a YouTube problem. That's not a Tammy problem. And it could be a Tammy problem at times. Okay. I won't lie. So, with that said, for everyone that's here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, we run the classes strictly on donations, and donations pay for the website. They pay for all the little goodies that we use to run these classes. Without those goodies, y'all wouldn't get a class, and it wouldn't be free. I'm just saying. So, yeah, it's same place as it was last year at Ridgecrest, right past Black Mountain. Go across Black Mountain and right into Ridgecrest. All right. Kendra says her computer and crafting areas still need unpacking and setting up, but I moved into a house with a beautiful backyard. I want pictures of the backyard, Kendra. Okay. You can send pictures of the craft room too. I like that too. And just let us all see your pretties. All right. Now, for all of you that are going to be there, can't wait to see you. For all of you that can't make it, I wish you could. And if you can't this year, seriously, next year, make it a priority. Save your pennies now. Georgia to Ridgecrest is smooth sailing. Can't say for the other side. That Ridgecrest, well, up in that area is where the hurricane landed all that water, and they had the big flood in North Carolina. Everything that's north of where we're at is in pretty bad shape. Everything south, the north has to detour to get to us, but the south we can just drive right on through. But the campground that we stayed at last year, oh my God, it was a dreamboat. It was a beautiful place. And yeah, it got took out. And they're not taking any rigs this size. Not right now. They're not set up for it. Hi, Esther. Glad you made it. So, next year, there's always next year. And every year, they're going to get it cleaned up more and more and make more improvements. So, Teresa just went through that area, so she knows. So, she's got the updates. Now, today, we are going to do the December star. Did y'all download this? Y'all download this pattern. This is a pretty pattern. Now, y'all think this is a hard pattern, just like I told you last week. Y'all thought that pattern I showed y'all last week was hard, and I showed you it wasn't, right? Well, let me tell you something. This one ain't either. It's confusing. It's got a lot of confusing talk and a lot of confusing directions, but it's doable. Okay? This is one of those patterns. Read it again, and read it again to understand what she's saying. Okay? Don't sell yourself short and say, oh, that's an easy pattern. I know how to do all this. And then go in there like gangbusters and start tatting it up and then find out, oh, no. You should have looked at it a couple of times. Okay? I waste a lot of thread trying to make the mistakes that you guys are going to make. Why do I do that? So I can show you how to prevent that mistake and how to correct that mistake should you make it. That is what I'm supposed to do. That's my job. Okay. Fix your pitfalls before you make them. And if you do make them, show you how to get out of them. Okay? Otherwise, you'll be sitting there like all new tatters that don't listen and come to these classes. Okay? And they're sitting there, oh man, I got to do it again. You got to do it again. And you'll do a pattern 6 or 7 times trying to figure it out. Whereas you come to class, I can show you how to figure it out. Okay? It is simple. And if you look at every pattern that, yeah, it's got twists and turns, but it's simple because it's basic. Everything starts with the basic premise. What they add to it is frills. Okay? But when you back up and you say, wait a minute, it's all rings and chains, and you take the difficult parts out, you can do it. Because we got all these highfalutin techniques. They didn't have them back in the day. And they created patterns like this one. Okay? So, with that said, we're going to go down. But first, see this? We got beads. Now, I worked the sample. Part of it with beads, part of it without beads. Now, bead sizes. Remember I said in there, you don't know what size bead goes with what size thread? Well, it's, if you've ever done any bead work, you automatically know what size thread works with what size bead, what size wire works with what size bead. And thread and wire runs along the same lines. Okay? Because if it's too big, it's not going to go through the bead. All right? The difference with tatting is you've got to be able to string those beads with your thread. Most people use big eye needles, beading needles, that kind of thing. But there is one person that I've seen do this. And she'll take and pour her beads out in a cup. She'll take glue. She'll cut her thread into a point. Take glue on the end of that thread and work that point up. And then let that glue dry. And then she uses that for a needle. And that is Ruth Perry's niece. And she's on YouTube. And she goes by the name Sparrow, Sprite, or Spite. I can't remember if it's Sprite or Spite. But Sparrow is the first name. She's very gothic, but oh, she's a beautiful young lady. Don't get me wrong. But her tatting is so much like her aunt's. It's unbelievable. So go check her out if you want that way that she does the stringing of the beads. Because to me, that's easier than what I'm doing. But I just can't never get that point on there. But watch her videos and watch how she, thank you, Sparrow Sprite. Yes. And she is a lovely, lovely young lady. But she has some fantastic ideas that she does with her tatting. Y'all need to go check her out. Just even if you just watch her YouTube channel, check her out. But she strings her beads on right onto the thread. She doesn't count her beads. Guess what? Most tatters don't count the beads. They just string on as much as they can on their shuttle to get their piece done. Then they worry about taking it off after. Okay? And that is what I do. I don't count the beads. I put on enough to do the technique or the pattern, and then the rest, once the pattern's done, you're cutting that thread off. You just pull them beads off right there at the end that you didn't use. But there is a trick with your beads. If you get 2 beads, say you pull 2 beads down and you wasn't supposed to, and you don't catch it like until 3rd row up, don't go trying to back that out just to cut that bead off. Take you a pair of needle nose pliers, put it on your bead, and snap, bust the bead. It won't hurt your thread. Okay? Do it over a trash can because walking on those cut pieces hurts. Hi, Monica. But do it over a trash can and hit it with the tip of the needle nose pliers. If it's a small bead, the bigger the bead, the more pliers you're going to have to use. And break that bead off. It will not hurt nothing. Okay? And make sure you jiggle it over the trash, get all the loose bits and bobs of that bead out of there. and then you're done. You don't have to rip anything out. So remember that when you're working with beads. If you accidentally get too many, you can always pop the bead off by breaking it. All right, next thing. Your bead size is determined on your thread size. Most of your patterns that you have are going to say you need a 15/0. That is 15/0. When you go to a bead shop, you go to a bead show, and there are bead shows everywhere. When you go, you ask for what size beads you want. Okay, and they'll point you in that direction if you go to a bead shop. But if you go to a bead show, oh, take your wallet, lots of cash, lots of credit card, and be happy while you shop. Okay, because you are going to find the most unique and most beautiful beads you will ever lay your eyes on. I have gotten so many one-of-a-kinds at a bead show that it's unbelievable. And you get them at bargain prices. Okay, gemstones, you can get those at bead shows. You have a hard time getting true gemstones anywhere else. So if you find a bead show in your area, go to it. Okay, there is several for those of you that are near big cities. There's always several in big cities. Now there is Bead Fest that comes out at Tucson, Arizona every year. If you can gather up your pennies, it's like going to IOLI. Okay, it's a dream place to shop. Everybody and their brother goes that's into beading. All right, and you can get beads, you can get patterns, you can get all kinds of stuff. And those places will cater to you. Okay, if you go in and you say, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, I have this thread that I use and I make lace with it, I need a certain bead to go in there, and I'm not sure what size bead. Okay, thank you, Mary. I was just wondering if you was going to come today. But if you take your thread with you, they'll point you in the direction of what size bead to use. Most places will give you a card. Okay, I don't know if I've still got mine in the drawer. Let me look here really quick. Get all my other junk out of the way. I might be able to find something in here. I have a card that tells bead sizes. I bet you I ain't got it up here close to me. I should have grabbed that. Anyway, I'll post it in the Facebook group and get Pam to send it out to you guys. But they have a chart that tells you bead sizes and what size thread that goes with it. Well, that chart, the only thing it's good for on a tatter side is the bead itself. Hi, Katia. Nice to see you. Having a good time this summer? Hope so. The only thing it's going to do is really show you bead sizes. It's not going to compare the bead sizes to the size of thread if you don't do beadwork. If you do beadwork, you can figure out which size bead goes with which thread. Now, remember, the bigger the thread, the bigger the bead. Now, what I am using is size 10 thread today. Yep. Hey, Mary, I was in Georgia's classes when it was all typing, and we learned typos a long time ago. We're way ahead of you, honey. Well, we're melting, okay? Does that sound good? All right, so this is the size of the bead and the bead hole. Let me get that up there to you. Can you see how small? I tell you what, let me put it on my crochet hook. Let's try that. So you can see how small. You see how small that crochet hook is? How tiny? Now, let me show you something. There's that bead. And this is on size 10. Now, this bead size here is what they call an 8/0. Okay? So, 8/0 on size 10 thread. It works. It's a little loose, but it works. But as you can see how big the bead is. Now, you can go smaller, and bead sizes are the same thing as thread. Okay? Thank you, Mary. If you get size 10 thread, you know what you're getting. You get size 10, it's smaller, right? Bead sizes are the same way. Okay, 8/0 is this size. 15/0 is seed beads. Very tiny. I mean, if you have eyesight problems, buy you some binoculars and play with your beads. All right, because the bigger the thread, the bigger the bead. The smaller the thread, the smaller the bead. The numbers run the same way for thread and beads. Okay, for tatters only. I don't know about anything but tatters and beaders. Bead artists, they use a nylon thread. Okay, it looks almost like silk, and you have to use a lot of beeswax for bead artists. Ask me how I know. Okay, so remember that the smaller the thread, the smaller the bead. The bead sizes and thread sizes go hand in hand. Okay. You pick the size that you're comfortable to work with, and you pick the size of thread you're comfortable to work with. Size 20 thread can hold a size 15 bead, 15/0. Okay. Now, a 15 millimeter bead, that's a big one. That's a big one. That's your pearl sizes. Big pearls that you wear as a necklace. So remember that. It's big bead size. When you get up in the 15 millimeter, okay, the higher the millimeter, the bigger the bead. Okay. I've got beads like this that are like 25, 26 millimeter. Okay. And they're huge. Hi, Sue. Lord have mercy, we got a full house. So, with that said, if you're going to work with beads, match your beads to your thread. But until you get ready to match your beads with your thread and tackle bead tatting, be sure you know how to handle the thread and the beads at the same time, because it will get fiddly. It will drive you nuts. It will give you headaches. But oh, it makes your tatting so beautiful, adding beads, especially when you're making jewelry. Add some sparkle, put you some crystals in there, shine like a brand new penny, and you are good to go. All right. So this pattern didn't call for beads. So I'm going to show you how I approach the bead. Okay. Now, if the bead is supposed to go on the picot, going to come from your loom hand. Whatever shuttle's dangling over here on the loom, that's where it's going to come from. If it's going to go from the core thread, it's going from your shuttle hand. This is shuttle 1 and this is shuttle 2. Depending on which hand you use to tat with, depends on which one is shuttle 1 and which one is shuttle 2. Okay? So you have to watch your bead placement. If it's going on the core thread, think about it. You got your loom on your hand and you're doing a ring. This shuttle here is going to not only be the core, but it's also going to be the picots. It's also going to be what makes your double stitches. It's going to play 2 parts. So you have to think about that. All right. So when you're working a ring, you want your core thread beads on this hand, because you're going to peel them up as you need them. Okay. What's going on the outer edge and the picot is going on this hand. So make sure you know, think it through. That's why I say when you're playing with beads, you have to think it through. What goes on first on your thread comes off last. What goes on last comes off first. Okay? Remember that phrase. Write that down. I'll wait. If you put whatever order you put the beads on first, it's going to come off last. Whatever order you put the beads on last, is going to come off first, because our thread works from the shuttle this way, right? So if it goes on first, it's up here. If it goes on last, it's over here. You see? So think that through before you tackle beads. How's it going to land? You're going to have it on the core thread. Are you going to have it on the picot? Is it going in first? Is it going in last? Is it going in the middle? You don't have any sound? Anybody else having sound trouble? Mike's working. Okay. Thanks for coming, Katia. That's on your side. It's not buffering on mine. You got storms, Anna? Rain? Cloudy skies? Anything? Is the wind blowing? That's usually what it is. So, with that said, everybody got that down? All right, so everybody's got audio. Thank you for coming, Katia. All right, now we're going to get into our little piece. So I'm going to shoot to the down shot and send you, if I can get my mouse to work, it's just, it went to sleep, and sometimes it has an issue about waking up. Are you going? There it is. She's woke up. Well, it's about time, darling. Just about time. So let me switch camera. They've also, in the middle of this, they switched my whole screen setup. Oh, good night. Can't they leave things well enough alone? Now, I'm going to zoom in because I had this zoomed in and they just decided to change things on me. Now, this is our little tatted piece on size 10 thread. Let me get this thing around here. Now, as you see, my shuttles have beads on this one and on this one. No, I did not count how many beads I put on there. It said, when I decided where I was putting beads, I says, I'm going to put one on every picot throughout the pattern, except for my joining picots, because the pattern said the joining picots are very small. Okay? Now, with that, when it said the joining picots are very small, it says it right here. See, right there. All joining picots are very small. That means they're a dot. Okay? Hi, Tanya. So with that said, I counted all my picots and I pulled out enough, hi, Karen, to cover the beads I'll be using on both shuttles. Okay? And I put extras in. So what I did, I said, okay, that looks like 30, but you eventually, if you work with beads enough, depending on what size you're using, you're going to know exactly what 30 beads looks like or 50 beads looks like. So you can pretty much scrape them off to the side just by looking and get enough. And that's how I put the beads on my shuttles. Well, this is ran in continuous thread method where there's no ends to hide. So how do you do that? The first thing you do is you bead the thread for this shuttle, okay, and the other shuttle, and you put them all on your thread. Then you start winding your shuttle, okay? Once you start doing the winding, then you're going to divide it up after you get enough thread on shuttle 1 to work with. You start pulling beads back for shuttle 2, okay? You push your beads back to where you've only got maybe 5 to 8 wraps on the shuttle. So you're going to be moving beads all the time, but they're up there where you can work with them. Now, if you've got a ton of beads, I advise, putting a grouping together and then take a little bit and then a grouping together. Otherwise, you're moving 2 bottles of beads around. Okay, you don't want that. So play with your beads on where you put them, how you wind them on your shuttle. take your time. Okay. Now, this pattern here, let's see, that's the back side, it looks like, isn't it? Yeah, this is the back side. Now you know why I use front side, back side tatting. So when you're using beads where there are picots that don't have beads on them, you can look and see if both legs are covered or not. Okay, so now you know. That's why I do it. Also, it looks pretty. Just saying. Now, this one here, okay, what she says. Let's get our pattern out. We're going to follow it through. This center part is basically ring and chains with small joining picots here with a decorative picot here. Okay? Now, that will come into play right here. You build this center as you're building the outside. So you're working inside and outside both at the same time on this pattern. Okay. The next thing is she's got everything color coded. Well, the blue, as she says, are shuttle 1. This would be shuttle 1. As I said before, make sure you have 2 separate shuttles for shuttle 1 and shuttle 2. Or put a sticker if your shuttles match. Put a sticker for 1 and leave it off of 2. Or put a sticker on 2 and leave it off for 1. Or use a magic marker. Anything you need to do to mark your shuttles to determine 1 and 2. That will help you in most of your tatting until it really sticks to you what you're doing, okay? And that doesn't take long if you use the little hints I give you along the way to keep everything straight, okay? Because there is a lot. There really is a lot. But if you use the hints, remember, that is something that you're going to remember. If you're a visual learner, what you see, you remember. Okay? So, this is my shuttle 1. It's different from shuttle 2. Okay? They're both the same color. It's just this one's been decorated. This is one I got from Rita a long time ago. Shuttle by Design. Now, they're both the same color, but this one's different. So, that one's shuttle 1. The different one is always shuttle 1 on me. So, that way I don't forget. Which one did I name shuttle 1? My decorative shuttle is always shuttle 1. All right. The next thing is, she says, these little green rings are not actually rings. Okay. Unless you want them to be. All right. The green elements can be one of 2 things. The instructions say a self-closing mock ring, which we did last week. Okay. Or 2 chains using 1 shuttle. So I did the first one as 2 chains. I did this one as a self-closing mock ring. Now, mind you, I don't work with size 10 thread that often, so it's a little wonky. Deal with it. But as you can see, to get this to close at the base, we have to get intuitive, ingenious, many descriptions on how we're going to join. But no matter what you use to join, you're going to get this little humpty. Because you're going up with a chain, you're doing the first ring, the second ring, the third ring, and you're coming down with the other half of the chain. Well, you've got to jump into this chain. You have to join some way to this ring. Now, you can join to this ring using a regular join. It's going to leave a knot there, like this one did. You can do an alligator join. An alligator join is a join just like an alligator. You have thread. You have a tatted piece. Alligators, they come up. I'm going to show you here. 3-dimensional. Alligators bite. They do this. Chomp, chomp, chomp. You bite down on your piece with your thread where you're wanting to join. In this case, it would be right here. So what that means, and I'm going to show you real quick using this thread and this sample. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to show you. One shuttle would come across the top. The other shuttle would come across the bottom. You'd hold those two pieces together and you would begin your tatting. That's an alligator join. How simple is that? It's one of the easiest joins you can do. However, with every little trick, there is a drawback. With the alligator join in this particular pattern, you're going to get a humpy. Your piece is going to twist. You see it? That's your alligator join. Let me get it up here so you can see. See how it lays? Now I'm covering up the other one for a reason. But do you see how that chain is laying? Looks like you've got one coming in the back and one going over the top. That's what an alligator join does. It's not harming the piece. What it makes it look like is it's a continual chain. So, you know where an alligator join is useful? Who was it that asked about, is there somewhere we can get an alphabet to make letters? Well, you can make letters in cursive and use an alligator join, and it looks like handwritten words. I've seen it done. I don't know of any patterns like that, but this is where you use your knowledge of tatting and make it work for you. And that's why I keep saying tatting is your own. Okay? It can either defeat you and beat you, or it can love you. And it depends on which way you allow it to go. The lives are done every Tuesday. If you'd like notification, Pam, can you please, or Anna, post in here where she can register to sign up for the classes? But welcome, welcome, welcome. We love new people. All right. So with that said, you can use this to create like handwritten letters. You know? So it works. It's a neat little tool in your toolbox to keep handy. Now, this one here is a self-closing mock ring. Again, we did the self-closing mock ring just last week. All right? And I showed you how to do it. Well, you've come to the right place. Pam is the lady that handles all our email and registration and everything. And she'll get you going and get you set up. I also offer private classes on the side to get you through the humps if you're stuck. But everything is taught live classes. All right. So with that, let's get moving on. All right. Now this one here is the self-closing mock ring. Oh, let me get in camera. Right here at the base, when we closed that ring, it automatically gave us a join. Okay. So we could start on that chain to start the next part of the center section. Do y'all see that? Can y'all see that? You see what I'm talking about? This is the two chain method. And this is the self-closing mock ring. It's up to you which look you like. This is with beads on each one of the picots, just on the outer picot. Okay. This one here, from here around, is no beads. All right. So you all have to decide, what way do you want your snowflake or your star or whatever you're working on to look like. I was going to do crystals, but with all these lights, oh my goodness, y'all wouldn't even be able to see the work because it was going to sparkle. Trust me, it was going to sparkle. I got to have my bling, you know. I'm just that kind of girl. I got to have my bling. And This put a little bling in there without blinding you. Okay, so what way will you do your star? Okay, now what can you use this star for? You can put it on your tree for Christmas, as it is Christmas in July. Or if you use crystals, you can use it to hang from the mirror in your car. You get all them pretty colors, glittering around. Just be careful that you don't hang it up high because it'll blind you. Drop it down low on the rear view mirror. Don't ask me how I know these things. Okay, I'm just saying, don't ask me. I'd have to tell the truth. Okay. But this star, wear it with a badge of honor. You all can do this. Everything that I have showed and taught you all, you can do this. It is easy as pie. Okay. Well, I'm going to say it's easy as eating a pie, not making one. Those things can be difficult. So try it. But I want to see your stars, because every one of you are a star to me. And I have to say, those sample books that you've been showing me and your tatted work that you've been showing me, I'm impressed. Yeah, you can add crystals to the star. I put pearls on mine because I didn't want to blind you, Tanya. But you see, and I just added them on the picots themselves as I was tatting. And the way you do that, all right, I'm going to come down a little bit further. I'm not going to fiddle with all this. I want to see you all make yours, all right? But I'm going to show you how we can make a ring, all right? Now, that's the loom. Now, we're going to put one on a picot, okay? And we're going to put one on the core, okay? So that's going to give us 2 beads. Now, remember what I said. When you've got it wrapped on your hand, what you've got to go on the core thread's going to come from in here, okay? What's going to go on the picot is going to, or did I have that backwards? We'll play with it both ways just to be sure, because now y'all confused me. Do you know it's not hard to confuse a blonde woman? Especially when the blonde woman's got gray hair. Not hard at all. Just saying, it's not hard at all. We can all get confused together. And, if you don't work with beads constantly, yeah, you forget things. That's why our tatting books are such a valuable asset to us. Now, we're going to put a ring, loom, drop that bead on there. Get down there. Get. Now, we're going to pull these 2 back into our working shuttle. Okay, and I'll show you how they're going to fall on this ring. My loom set. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is put in 3 double stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're going to pull that bead up, okay, and we're going to place it right there. That's going to be on the core. I'm going to put in 3 double stitches. That's 2 and 3. Now, we want one that's over the picot. Runs across the top on the picot. All right, so there we go. We're going to put this one in. So I was right. Ready? Now we're going to put our double stitches in. 1, 2, and 3. And I've run out of room and I got fat fingers. Now, we're going to close this ring. Not much of one, but we're going to close it. I'll cut all these beads off later. As you can see, there is the last bead we put on. Whoops, sorry, out of shot. Let me get it. There is the last bead we put on. See where it's at, where it's landing? It's landing on the core. This one here is landing on the picot. See it? Does the bead count for the first half of the stitch or no? No, the bead never counts for a stitch. Thank you, Anna. It is. It's just an ornament to make your pattern prettier. It won't affect your stitch count. Beads on picots do not count. Thank you, Pam. We'll get to know you by your real name here before long. I'm going to just call you CS because, yeah, my teeth don't work with my tongue most times. I'm just saying, I have a problem with teeth and tongues. So let me zoom back out. Watch out. I don't want to make you guys dizzy. If I do, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But now you see how the beads play differently. And, you can manipulate them however you want. You can put them over the picot and put a paper clip in there or a bulb pin. I got a bulb pin here, one of these. Some people call them quilter's pins. They're bulb pins if you buy them. And you put that on there to hold your place so you can join to it. Most people, if you're going to put a picot on a joining ring or a joining picot, put a bead on a joining picot. See, I can't even talk. They would put it on the picot and put a bulb pin. Okay. And the way you do that, I'll show you real quick. So I'm giving you guys ideas here. Okay. Let me get bead out of the wonderful bead jar over here. Put those down there. Now we want to put a bead on a picot. We've already tatted our piece per se. Grab the bead with our hook. Grab the thread with our hook. Pull the thread through the bead. This is where it can get to be a pain in the butt. Okay, but you pull that thread tight down with that hook. Slide that bead off, and you just have to play. Who was it? Somebody used, Karina. Oh, should know that. She used a guitar string. Her son played guitar, and she used a guitar string to use it. And she just folded it in half, run it through the thread, and pulled it through. Yeah, you can put them in your double stitches. Sure can. You put them anywhere you want. Okay? If you put them in your double stitches, guess what? It'll be a picot. Okay? Now, there's a bead on a picot. Now, what I would do if I had tatted up to here, put this on a picot, and then tatted and finished and closed the ring, this would be where I'd join. And then I would come in with my hook, put it there in the thread, like that. Then I would remove the bulb pin or the paper clip, whatever you use. Put your hook in first. Trust me. Getting that bead back on that thread after you've dropped it off the thread because you didn't follow my hint, yeah, you don't want that fight. You don't want that headache. You're going to stretch that picot out to where it's too big, trying to get that thread back on. So remember that. Make it a note. Do not put beads on picot and remove the bulb pin or / paper clip until you've got the hook in to do the join. Okay? Fair warning. I gave you fair warning. Because this is what's going to happen when you do. I'll remove this bulb pin. Let me show you what happens to that bead if you don't. It comes off real easy. Hi, Helena. So, any questions, guys? Any questions? Now, remember, we've got 2 more classes after this one. Beginners class is on Thursdays. We're going to follow through the next 3 Thursdays and finish up the beginner classes. And then I will be off until October to get all them stupid tests run, be a pincushion, and glow in the dark. you know, that's just something I need to do. Let me switch cameras. There we go. Hi, I'm back. If you want to join the beginner class, hi, Vanessa. Be sure you let Pam know. Pam, creative sister, wants to be in the beginner class. Oh, yes. All videos that I make, all lives are on the channel. The beginner lives, they're on the channel after I run the beginner class. That is a private classroom strictly for beginners. You have to be registered to come to that class. This class is live, and then right after class is over, I post, it's already posted up. The program I use posted up immediately. Now, the chat window will not be available till tomorrow because YouTube has to do their thing to make sure we're not saying potty words. I am neither of them. Georgia retired back in 2019. I made her videos before then for her classes. When she retired, I couldn't take the classes over right away, and she handed them off to Sue Fuller and Cynthia Stevenson's to manage and run until I could help. And then next thing I knew, I had them. So, yeah. My name is Tammy. Thank you, Mary. I'll be fine. I ain't got no worries. I'm not sick. It's just my medicine has been my medicine for 42 years, and it's just retired. It said it don't want to work no more, so it retired on me. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. We have a lot of fun, but today's class is being cut short due to the big black cloud headed my way. I live full time in an RV, and it's real easy to knock the power out of this thing. So, and then I'm gone. I'm just gone. All right, let's see. What do we got? Any questions, anybody? Now, Creative Sister, we've got videos up, and they're under beginner classes or beginner live classes 2025. They're already up. Go ahead and peruse through those. We've got a lot of shuttle technique videos. We've got needle technique videos. We've got you name it. We got a lot of you name it. We got it. We got design class, all that. Hi, Carol, you back? You're very welcome. Lilia or Lillian, Pam? Hi, Corinne. All right, self-closing mock ring. I shall do that for you, Corinne. I shall. All right, we're going to do the self-closing mock ring on this one. Let me switch this video down. Camera angle. Camera, come back out. There we go. We got it. See it? I got it on my hand. Lillian. Okay, got it. All right, now we wrap our hand for a chain. All right, do the chain loom. Then we come in with shuttle 1. I'm going to put a paper clip on here or a bulb pin as a beginner. Now, that is our loop. You put, the way you're going to do it, get out of my way real quick. All right, you're going to take your thread. I'm trying to avoid that one ring right there. You got our loom. We wrap that thread around that finger and come back up. As a beginner, you want this bulb pin to fall in that loop, okay? And come back up. The reason you want it to fall in that loop, if you was to drop this off your hand, like so, it won't crawl up inside, okay? So, with that said, then you begin to tat your stitches, all right? We're just going to do 6 stitches here, okay? That's 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Now, the next thing you're going to do, now this is not going to close properly because of that ring. All right? Remember that. It's not going to close because I got that ring in the way. This is all my sampling stuff. You know, my sampling stuff. Where is it's all twisted sistered too. That's all right. We can still do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. It just won't close all the way. But what you're going to do, and if you watch what I'm doing here, when I pull, see, this is the one that's got the bulb pin on it. When I pull, that's closing up. You want to run that shuttle up through that before you close it. And then close your ring. Like I said, it's not going to close all the way because of this ring in the way. Okay? Should have had another set of shuttles sitting up here, but I don't. I meant to grab some, but I didn't. Okay, you can smack me for it later, Corinne. But that is how you do it. It ended up with a half-closed ring. Ah, cool. That works. So, but that's how you do it. And you just pull it closed. And then it makes a ring. Do you understand that one? Let me see if I can find another shuttle here. And do it. Move out of the way. How about this one? Because I can do it on this one. Of course, this is jumbo size thread. This is size 3 crochet cotton. You can tat with anything. All right, so I'm going to make this the loom hand thread, okay? Let's do this puppy. And we're going to come down. Watch. Come down around our finger and back up there. Okay? Get that tail out of the way. That is the self-closing mock ring. That's the mechanism right there that closes that ring. That is where you would put your bulb pin to keep it from crawling back up in. I love it, Corinne. I love it. All right, now, you see how I've got that? Now, if you pull these 2 fingers together to hold that, it's going to stop it from moving. But, you know, you move your hand when you're tatting, and this is what happens. It slips off your finger, just like that did. It come off. There it is. It's loose. And when you're tatting, you don't realize you're pulling this thread. This bulb pin will keep it from going up into the stitches, and your work is not wasted. Okay? So with this larger thread, we get to put in less stitches. So we're going to put in 5 stitches and then we'll close it. All right. So we've got 4, and here's our 5th one. I don't want to run out of thread on that end. Now, what you're going to do, open that up. Remember this. Make sure you get that twist out of that thread. Run that shuttle up into that loom. Okay? And start closing it. Watch that thread. See how it's working? It's a closing. When you get to that point right there where you've got just a little bit of a loop, go ahead and remove that bulb pin. It's not going to hurt anything because it's not going to crawl inside. Okay? Watch the pin. It will poke. And then you get blood on your tatting. You don't want that. That's hard to get out. Now, I just closed the ring. Self-closing mock ring. It's because I get the twist out. Okay? You have to, all thread has a twist to it. It's made that way. Tatting thread, prime example, is twisty as all get out because it has an S and a Z twist both to the thread. Crochet thread has an S and a Z twist because of its bulk. Okay. But the it's not as tight. Tatting thread is really super tight because it is coordinate thread. It's meant to be. It's gas fired and everything. I mean, they do a lot to make that thread really firm. Okay. Yes, you can continue to tat if that little loop falls off of your finger. The bulb pin stops it. And if you don't take the bulb pin out, you can't close your ring all the way. Does that make sense? Now, I know a lot of you are having trouble with the slip and slide method, and many of you went to the Riego method. Now, there is on Palmetto's site a video that you can purchase. And Georgia did this video years ago called Tatting Hands. Y'all need to get it and watch it. It's the many different ways people tat because it's comfortable to them. Oh, you're welcome, Corinne. You're very welcome. You know I don't mind. So, any other questions? Any. We're looking for them. Let me switch cameras. I'm back. Hi, I'm back. So, like I say, tatting takes time to learn. Once you learn it, once you get the ins and outs of it, the rest is easy. Don't look at any pattern as it's difficult. I'm serious, don't. Because it's rings and chains. That's it. It's how you manipulate the rings and chains with other techniques to get the look you're looking for. Yeah, it's on their downloads directory. Teresa can tell you if she's still here. SCMR stands for self-closing mock ring. And that's the demonstration I just did, Desiree. And it is easier. It's the same ring needle tatters use. See, we do use needle tatting techniques in shuttle tatting. And it does make a rounder looking ring when you do it in shuttle tatting. Instead of the ovoid, it'll make it rounder. But yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many different ways you can tat. And well, Mary Lee's got a video on how to tat for people that only have one hand. That, I mean, was fantastic. She's also got some left-handed videos too, I believe. Not a problem, Desiree. Not a problem. So, do we have any questions, folks? Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, y'all got to check out their pattern downloads too. They got some really cool patterns over there. I'm just saying. The beginners classes at the same time. We start at 3 o'clock Eastern time. All classes are set up on Eastern time. I live full time in an RV and we travel, so therefore we just run it off Eastern time, so that's easier, or New York time. Mary Lee Rockley. I met her. She is one of the nicest people you ever meet. Of course, I haven't met any not nice tatters. Nice to meet you too. Thank you for coming. Invent self-closing mock ring. I don't know what you mean, Corinne. I didn't invent nothing. Mm-mm. Don't dare try to invent anything. I will tell you about some goodies I got. I got some grandchildren. They have something up their sleeve, and you see all these pretty embroidery threads. Well, they had me to get this and these two things. You know, we got the wedding coming up, and all right, Trace, I'll see you later. We got the wedding coming up. Well, they had me to get this, and they had me to get this, and they're working on a sampler that says family. So I have no idea, but anyway, it's a wedding gift for mom and dad, and so yeah, that's what we're doing. And there's nothing in there that says families. They must have the actual sampler, and they needed this to learn how to do the sampler, I guess. So that's what they wanted to do, and I'm part of that scheme they're running. Oh, no, no, no. They didn't invent it. It's been around for a very long time. Very long time. It's just the way that they do it using their um, shuttles that they make. Oh, Mickey, that thank you. I appreciate you coming. I love all my students. I do. I just absolutely love them all. And learning, I love to see your work. I mean, I don't care how bad you think it is. I got news for you. You have no idea what it does to my heart to see you all share what you've learned in these classes. Georgia does look at it, and she sees all that, and she's just amazed by what you all are learning. Don't doubt it for a second. Yeah, Kathleen, they called me Sunday and said, Grandma, you know, being a grandma, when they say grandma, you just have to bend over backwards to do what they want. So I got them some goodies. I got them what they said to get. So, but it's got some beautiful, beautiful. I mean, absolutely. Look at these colors in this kit. This is a kit. Look at all them colors. And I'm like, wow. And there's more in here. I mean, there's like 1,000 colors, it seems. See all that? That is. Gary's no longer with us. He passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah, they're making it for mom and dad. They're going to give it to him at the wedding. It's a blended family, and there's going to be 6 total grandchildren when the union's complete. And I'm doing the veil. I'm doing so much for the wedding. It's unbelievable. But they belong together. They are meant for each other. And the kids adore their stepmom. They call her mom. And when they contacted me, the first thing they said was, Grandma, we got to do this for mom and dad. And I couldn't say no. I could not say no for a second. So that's what we're doing. And they're going to present it to them after the wedding and the reception. They're going to give it to them. So, yeah. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a huge wedding. I still got to get clothes I can get into. I gave away all my dresses and stuff when we went on the rigs. I got to buy clothes. I love mine. I got 5 granddaughters, or 4 granddaughters and 2 grandsons. Like I said, it's a blended family. So my son's got 4 kids. She's got 2. They're the best, aren't they, Kendra? They do no wrong. I'm just saying. My son will say so and so did something. No, my grandchildren don't do that. I think it's sweet, though. I do think it's sweet. So, with that said, I am going to get off here. Mary, I will see you in private class tomorrow. And Desiree, Love them to pieces. Gotta love them to pieces. I will take pictures. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Tuesday for the intermediate advanced class, and Thursday I'll see all you beginners. All right, until then, may all your threads make beautiful lace. Happy tatting, everyone. Love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. Tennessee? Oh, no, no, no. You're going to have to go with them. All right, I'll see y'all next week. Bye bye, folks.